Well, I think for me, one of the first cars that I actually got to work on with the team was the 33 Cadillac, and that one wasn't running, and we had to essentially clean and rebuild these Detroit lubricator updraft carburetors, and that was my first experience with those, and so that was pretty rewarding.
Well, I think it's a Lincoln, the lock body, there's no doubt about it. I've always liked that car. I know a little bit about them. I've restored a few of them. It was a challenge to get it going. You know, after sitting for 30 years, the engine locked up, you had us drop the pan, lubricated the cylinders, and we got running.
I think anytime we can take a car that's been sitting for a while and getting it back on the road so that the people, just seeing the looks of the people either walking the museum or out on the grounds when we have the cars out, I think that means a lot to me.
I think for me personally, my favorite one is probably cleaning and polishing the paint on the white Cord, the Beverly sedan, because when I first started here, everybody thought that car was tan and not white and needed to be repainted. And I was able, through over several weeks' time, to clean it, polish it, and get it looking like new.
You know, the work of our volunteer team really is the very definition of our mission. It's preserving the classics, it's preserving their stories, and educating others about the classic era.
These cars are so special. They are some of the most unique cars. Like, every specific car here has its own personality, and like to work on these and understand how they work, because there's not that many people who still work on these anymore, and you gotta really learn how to reverse engineer and do these yourself.
Well, for me as the director, it's a privilege to be able to work so closely with this collection. I grew up admiring these cars, and so to now be a part of preserving them and their stories is quite an honor. In fact, because of its story, this completely unrestored 47 Cadillac behind me was one of my favorite cars to see in this museum when it was first donated back in 1999. It's been here mostly on static display ever since, but now, 25 years later, I'm able to be a part of bringing this car back to life, returning it to running order, and to me that's very exciting.
I think I'm one of the younger guys on the team, newest to the volunteer team, and they have just so much experience with these cars. Some of them own similar cars, and so I'm most proud to just be working on this team at this museum, and I think it's just a wonderful opportunity.
With our volunteer team, the museum has been able to align the necessary resources to continue the work of preserving and maintaining our collection of over 40 cars. But we need your help. Your financial contributions don't just enable the museum to buy a set of brake shoes or a carburetor rebuild kit. Rather, it's an investment in a collection that has belonged to the museum for almost 40 years. It's an investment in the preservation of the stories of these cars that our guests find compelling 80, 90, even 100 years after these cars were first built. Your contributions help sustain this collection while fully utilizing the skills of our volunteers, who work to make the collection as functional and as educational as it can possibly be. We thank you for your contributions and appreciate your support. Donate today at cccamuseum.org.